Well, to the locals, it's still and will always be Heinz Field. But for the rest of us, we're along the north shore of the Allegheny and Ohio rivers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, a battle out of the AFC between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Punter Rigoberto Sanchez has it teed up and ready to go. And we're underway from Pittsburgh. Calvin Austin on the return. Nice run back, but what a hit we had at the end of it.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is first and 10.
Screen 18. Screen 18.
Rodgers throwing to start it off. Oh, it's intercepted. What a start. Charvarius Ward picks it off. There it is, partner. Tough to resist starting the game with a deep shot. I know you know that. It is aggressive, but also very high risk, high reward.
It is, Kate, and you know as an offensive player, especially as a quarterback, you go to bed that night, these plays are scripted. You're going to come out, you're going to take a shot. There you got to show a little restraint. If it's not there, and that defense has the awareness they just did, boy, you got to be real careful to not give them an opportunity to do what they just did and make a huge play defensively.
Brings up second and 5.
Shotgun snap to Fields. On the move, headed right. Going deep here for the end zone. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The Colts don't need long to take a 6-0 lead. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays in it.
And he misses on the extra point, so a good start for their offense, but not for him kicking it. Score stays at 6-0. Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff. Okay, well, that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, first and 10. Drive begins with a run by Johnson. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Need a better result than that last run. It's second and 8. On the ground again with Johnson. And he's going to have this up and across midfield, partner, to the 48. He picks up 15 on the play. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
I think it's so easy for us up here in the booth or sitting on the couch watching at home wondering why. How do those guys fall for that misdirection? But on the field, that play happens so fast and the execution so high for that offense to get a big-time run.
Going to the ground again on first. And the big gain followed by a little bit of a loss here. Defense getting the better of them on that run. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Operating from the gun. Here's Howard. And he's tackled for a short gain.
It's one of those situations, not much to be had there, no matter what he did with the ball. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win and a confidence builder for this defense.
He's got his man. This is Austin. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset. First down now, ball at the 33.
and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Out of the gun, Howard. Austin makes the grab downfield. And he's taken out as he brings it down towards the 10. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
19, Tiger, 19.
First and 10. Here's Howard. He brings it in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers can add to their side of the scoreboard. Chris Boswell for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers take the lead on that successful kick. Now Boswell on to send this away. This will end up as a touchback.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
So it's good field position for the Colts as they get set first and 10.
Here we go.
Taylor gets it to begin the drive. This is ahead for about 5. Tackled by the venerable Cameron Hayward.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground. You could throw beyond the sticks. You really create some indecision now defensively.
Play action, Fields. That's brought in. It's his back, Jonathan Taylor. And he's going to go out with a pickup of 3, so chipping away a few here ahead of this third down. Offense headed to the line. Just need to punch it 40 yards to reset the downs.
331. Hey, Cam. West right, Zip. Hey, Cam.
Third and 1. Fields to throw. What? Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down.
The number of times we see quarterbacks with his running ability make plays, critical plays on third down, it's got to be refreshing for that defense to finally see them on the right side of it.
Here we go. 319. Go.
Here we go. 4th down. It's Fields. And that's going to wind up incomplete as their gamble doesn't pay off. They're going to turn this one over on downs.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
Taking a chance to the end zone. And this is going to end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on first down, but just couldn't make the connection. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
Here we go.
Shotgun snap here to Howard. Nothing doing there as the second down pass falls incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. So now it's gonna be 3rd and long.
Kate, I think that's a little taster, a little entree of what's to come for this wide receiver. He's going to have to make some plays into some contested coverages, and he couldn't do it right there.
This finds its target. That's Metcalf. And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers take a 7-point lead in the first. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. Up and good from Boswell. And the Steelers grow their lead to 8.
14, 6. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to this away. Ashton Doolin now to return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. Colts file out into formation. Here comes 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Taylor. And he's taken down just a couple of yards shy of the 40.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down in just one play. But when you get that big play potential on the ground, geez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38.
Here we go. 3-19, right. Go. Up. Side.
1st and 10. Here's Fields. Has him on the quick hitter. Rolling into enemy territory. And this great effort winds up getting them well into enemy territory before he's brought down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
That's just awesome, Kate. A little bit of multitasking on that catch. Primary focus, as I always say, is you got to catch it first. But out of the corner of his eye, he knew exactly where to go, and he gets a bunch of yak on top of it.
So fresh set of downs now from the 39.
Here we go, son. Hey, kid.
Taylor gets it on 1st and 10. And he'll be met near the line to limit the game to a yard. Brought down by 4-time All-Pro Cameron Hayward. Play action now. It's Fields. Headed out right. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here.
Here we go, son. Up. Go him up. Here's the kid. Watch right. Matter. Right.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. Taken in by Pierce. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Bringing the offense up to the line. 1st and 10.
Angel. Here we go, son. Sit right.
Shotgun, handoff to Taylor. And that run good for a handful as it brings up 2nd down.
Hurry up.
Offensive line fast.
It's a gain of 5.
Jump snap.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Right.
Pitch to Taylor. Now that's not what the offense dialed up. They stick him for a loss. It's going to be 3rd down. So, well, there in the huddle, partner. We've arrived at the end of our 1st quarter. 14-6 is our score. More from Acrisure Stadium after the break. Time for the 2nd quarter here, and the Colts are thinking points.
Right.
Fields on 3rd. Short pass brought in. And he goes out of bounds. That's going to set up 1st and goal.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal.
Right.
From the gun, Taylor. And they take it across the goal line for an Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead. It's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. And he has made this a habit this season. That's his 10th rushing touchdown so far. All right, Fields has his guys set, looking to tack on 2 to that touchdown.
The Colts will line up for the two-point conversion.
It's caught! And in a tight game, they turn to the run, and it rewards them with 2. We're all tied up. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Dante Kent with the return. Escapes a defender. Big shot at the end of that run back as he gets it just past the 20.
Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10.
Let's go now. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Mustang 19. 60 birthday, 60 birthday.
Now Howard to throw. Buys time, rolling right. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Robbie Thomas has got it. And the Colts have it as he records his 7th interception of the season. Indianapolis bringing the offense to the line. Here's first and 10.
Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, Fields. Cut near the goal line. He has the Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts parlay the interception into points. It's an Adnan Mitchell touchdown. And that's no good. His 2nd missed extra point of the day. Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff. Kent on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
All right, working from the gun to start. First and 10.
Go! Head to 60, head to 60.
Not deterred by that pick. He's throwing again. It's caught right side by Freiermuth. And he's going to have this up near the 40, just a little bit short of it. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
These QBs make it look easy, but that requires such a large amount of body control when you throw it on the move. You got to be able to get the same accuracy you would if your feet are set. Sure takes a lot of repetition to make it look easy.
Here's Howard, first and 10. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing it. Unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last second attempt to get rid of it.
So it's second and 10 now. Ball still at that 39-yard line. Throwing again here. Howard. Forced out to his right. He can run it. He doesn't slide down and he pays for it. A big shot sends him to the ground.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt. Even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
Third and short. Howard. On target to Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. On first down, Howard. This one's going to hit the ground, incomplete. Looking for his running back there. Going to send him back to the drawing board now for second down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Rodney Thomas has got it. And the Colts have it as he records his 7th interception of the season.
At their own 41-yard line.
So it's good field position for the Colts as they get set, 1st and 10.
Here we go, son. Let's play. 3-9-6. Extend. Just. Tonight.
Looking to throw Fields. Left side into the hands of Warren. And they do get him down, but the damage is done. This gets down inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
So many cool fundamentals on display right there, Kate. Look the ball into your hands, number one. Don't turn your eyes away from it before it gets to you. And then when you've got that catch secured, snap that head forward and find that space upfield to turn a good play into a great play.
Throwing on first down. Fields tries to lob that one up, and it's intercepted. Kyle Tucker makes the play. 30 into the red zone. Into the house it goes. It's a pick six and a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers calling their first time out. Boswell to add the PAT. Bringing pressure, and it's blocked. The Colts have it. Free up the middle. It's a breakaway. At the 20. And against all odds, they get the block and return it all the way for 2 points.
Kate, this little sequence of events is why I'll go to my grave saying football is the ultimate and greatest team sport. This special teams group, they just picked up their offense in a big way. Softened the sting of that pick six, and now this offense, well, they got to go regroup and pay back those special teams.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Well, good news here. This is one kick that can't be blocked as he sends this away. On the return, here's Anthony Gould. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
On the return, the Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Colts file out into formation. Here comes 1st and 10. Fields coming back after the pick. He's going deep. Brought in inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
So a massive gain, and all of a sudden we've got 1st and 10 inside the red zone.
Go. Angel. Hey, can. Out. Punch right. Don't jump. Ready? Hey. Out. 3-19, right side.
Fields out of the gun. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Not on the same page with his tight end. So 2nd down coming up.
Here we go. 3-19, right side. Hey, can. Go.
Shotgun snap to Fields. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete.
Well, it's hard for me to get too mad at him for missing a touchdown when he's already got 2 in his pocket. Maybe fantasy managers might not agree with me on this one, Kate. But don't worry, as hot as he is, I bet you a 3rd one's coming at some point.
fields again. And this is an Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts grow their lead just before halftime. They'll try this extra point.
The kicker on for the point after.
And another one is no good. What a disaster this has been, Brock. That is his third missed PAT in this ball game. Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff. No return here. This kick's going to wind up as a touchback.
Take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Good field position as the Steelers come up to it. First and 10. Operating from the gun. Here's Howard. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Out of the gun, Howard. He's got it deep downfield. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
First and 10. Here's Howard. And this one is launched downfield. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got second down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Here's second and 10 now from the 36.
Let's go. 60 by 6, 60 by 6.
Shotgun snap here to Howard. Oh, he's in trouble, and he's going to go down. The Colts got him. And that pushes him back. Third down coming up.
A loss of 10 yards on the play. It's now third down.
Ready? Count. 60 backward. 60 backward.
Third and long for him here. Austin makes the grab downfield. He's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Let's go now. Panthers, go.
From the red zone now. Going with a screen to Johnson. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers earn the chance to tie before halftime. Well, Brock, I think you and I both saw that one coming together from up here, and it became clear pretty quickly that if they got things going, that one could go the distance.
Yeah, the 6 points earned on any screen pass touchdown. I'd give half a point to the sell job of a quarterback, half a point to the effort of the running back, but 5 of those points to the big guys in front of them. They're the most important ones out there on that play, and in the best of times, they clear lane for a touchdown just like that one.
All right, they're going to throw for it. And he can't connect with his man, so they tried for 2, but it doesn't work out. Wow, down by just a score, a lot of game to go, but look here, it's an onside try. And the Colts are able to bring in the kick. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. All right, I'm going to need your expertise here, Brock. You don't ever really call an onside kick there on a whim, do you? That had to be pre-planned, right?
Yeah, I think that was on the table well before they scored the touchdown, but here's the problem. That group on the other side, well, they were prepared, they were ready for it, and now you've added a little bit of momentum to that side.
It's 16 yards on that play. And that is good for an Indianapolis first down.
Here we go, son.
A gain of 16 yards.
Taylor again. He's got to gain a 6 there. Deshaun Elliott with that tackle.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Don't jump. Ready? Hey, Ken. Who's the DA? Hey. Watch right. Hey, Ken. Easy. Alpha. Go.
Fields looking to throw. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, third down coming up.
That's going to be a play tomorrow. When they watch it on tape, they're going to be kicking themselves a bit, Kate. You get man-to-man coverage down in the red zone, you got to take advantage of it. It's hard. Zone coverage and the windows are so tight. You get man, got to find a way to win.
That one nabbed by Warren. And it'll be first and goal. Stop is made at the 5-yard line. Now we get a timeout from the Colts. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. This offense in position now. It's first and goal.
Here we go. Right.
Working inside the red zone. To the end zone, but incomplete. Couldn't get it. That's going to set up second and goal.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone. And defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and lead teams for field goals, you got a great chance to win.
The defense wins this rep. That's stopped at the line, and now they've got third and goal. Timeout called by the offense, and with another timeout available, they could actually get another 2 plays if they work quick. Third and goal. Defense electing to play this from the nickel.
Here we go. Hey, number 11, 19 section. You got a mini basement. Why not? Press, butt right. Sit high.
Fields to throw it. And it's incomplete on third and goal. Ooh, sure looked like they were sitting on that slant, weren't they, Brock? If a route was going to beat them, it was not going to be that one.
Yeah, we see this route all the time, really at every level of football, because as a receiver, you just want to get inside that defender, and when you do, you hope to find that connection, but the contact knocked that sucker away.
This is going to be the play that takes us to halftime.
Here we go. Good. Green 19, that's not. Hey, Ken. Right.
One final shot before the half. Makes the catch. And they stop him. No touchdown, no first down. That's a turnover on downs near the end zone.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Well, if you love high-scoring games, no doubt you have been glued to your television so far. And no signs of slowing down as we begin our second half. And this drive will start inside the 25.
At their own 23-yard line.
Indianapolis bringing the offense to the line. Here's first and 10.
Here we go. Right.
Play action, Fields. Taking a shot deep here. And this is going to end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on first down, but just couldn't make the connection.
Hey, Mr. Quarterback, that's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage was waiting for it. Thinking interception to be had, and incompletion still pretty good for the defense.
Still 10 to go. Second down now from the 23.
Here we go. Green 19, just right. West right zip. Hey, Ken. Go.
Now Fields. He's trying to go deep again. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. One of the game's biggest plays right there as they get the markers reset.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Taylor now up the middle. It's an Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts grow the lead coming out of halftime. It's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Looking to tack on the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Colts push the lead to 2 scores now.
Steelers 26.
Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff.
Sanchez to kick off for Indianapolis.
On the return, here comes Austin. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
On the return, the Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10.
Come on, set. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Trap 60, traps, Warriors 70.
Working now from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And after one play, this drive might already be in trouble. That's going to push him back for 2nd down.
His name goes on the stat sheet for that sack, but it's the coverage who truly earned it. They go to dime coverage to shut down any type of pass, and everybody in the secondary doing their jobs, tying up throwing lanes until they could get home to the quarterback and bring him down. That is the epitome of a coverage sack.
And it's a nice game, but still not enough for the first.
Okay, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
19 Tiger.
Howard throwing on 3rd down. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
This defense, they had a plan, and they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
This offense is not leaving the field. On 4th and 8, they're going for it. They're going for this. This finds its target. That's Metcalf. And he is stopped as he reaches that 46-yard line. So they keep this drive moving after a big 18-yard pickup on 4th down. 1st and 10 now from the 46. On play action, here's Howard. And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. 2nd down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Let's go now. 19 Lions.
2nd and 10 now. Howard chased out to his right. Oh no, they get him yet again. Daniel Scott with the pick. And the Colts are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season. So it's good field position for the Colts as they get set. 1st and 10.
Here we go. We good. 331. Sit out.
Running right. This is Taylor. Breaks the tackle. On the move, past the 40. And he's going to be driven out of bounds. The gain gets this down inside the 35. It's a pickup of 26. And it'll be 1st down Colts.
A gain of 26 yards. 1st down,
Here we go,
Indianapolis.
All right.
They go again with Taylor. And there's the stop after he drives this down to the 13. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that is good for an Indianapolis 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during a game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
That one's incomplete in the end zone.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
Here we go, Scott. Scott, 319, can I see that? Scott.
2nd and 10 now. Fields. And he finds him in the end zone for the Indy touchdown. The Colts pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. It's an Adonai Mitchell touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game.
Here we go.
Fields looking to throw this. And that pass is complete for 2, and their lead grows further. Worked so well the first time. Hey, why not go right back to it? See if you can be successful again. They do, and they are.
And I like the way you say that right there, Kate, because you almost feel the confidence, right? Like you get it the first time, you're almost playing with house money. Even if you fail, it's still 14 points. It's not really a failure. And if you get it, well, you gain even more confidence and make that opponent think that much more.
First call here coming from the shotgun. Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 19 at the 15-yard line.
Rodgers from the gun. They're on him again, and he goes down again. And these guys need to find a way to hold up better for their QB. This offense now facing 3rd down.
All right, up to the point of the game, Kate. Now, we got to get the ball out of our hands. He is just taking a beating all game long, and on this drive, yet again. Find a way to protect, find a way to run, and get the ball out of his hands.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
You know, Kate, with the game that they put together, it's surprising to see them really run into any hiccups when they appear. They move the ball very well throughout, just unsuccessful on that 3rd down.
319.
They'll go for it. Rodgers escapes the pocket. And they'll turn it over on downs as that pass comes up empty, and off the field they go.
Plays you expect to work every time. If that one's on the short list, I think it's got to be reevaluated. Something wasn't working on it, and it cost them a possession.
Here we go, Scott. Right.
Straight ahead with Taylor. Now even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. He can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
Go.
On the ground, E.J. Giddens gets it. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means 3rd down coming up.
As a corner in this league, well, you go to the Pro Bowl if you can cover. If you want to be an all-pro, you stick someone like that.
Here we go. 319. Hey, can.
Fields on 3rd. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
One strike. 11. Right.
On 4th down, Fields. And it's incomplete. They dialed up their best effort, Brock, but they come up empty. That's going to be a turnover on downs.
You know, these 4th down plays are all about trust. You lean into what you do best. Unfortunately, with the lack of execution, you're going to throw that one off the playlist.
Blue 58.
Here's Rodgers on 1st and 10. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete. Second down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. On the move, headed right. This is Metcalf working that right side. And some excellent work to drive them all the way out past the 30-yard line. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Inside. Blue 58.
To the air on first down. Rodgers makes the grab in bounds left side. And he's going to be hauled out on a gain across midfield down inside the 45-yard line. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first.
First down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
18.
Again, Rodgers buying some time right. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. No luck finding his receiver that time. So it's second down coming up.
The QBs today so adept at doing just this, buying themselves enough time and finding a target. The problem on this one, just not the throw he needed to make the completion.
Throwing again, Rodgers. Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. It's the fifth time they've gotten there for a sack in this one, Brock. And they're going to try for number 6 on third down. Here he goes, third and long. Completed over the middle. And they stop him right at the line of scrimmage as Tom runs out the quarter. Just 1 quarter remaining in this one. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the fourth quarter. Well, best of luck here. It's fourth and a considerable distance. Desperation time here. Buys time, rolling right. And that's going to wind up incomplete as their gamble doesn't pay off. They're going to turn this one over on downs. So it's good field position for the Colts as they get set, first and 10. Signals, and looks like we've got a timeout before that first down play. They still have 2 to work with in this final quarter. So it's good field position for the Colts as they get set, first and 10. They give to Taylor, right side. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Working quickly here.
48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
Off play action, it's Fields. Bails out of the pocket quick. Going all the way to the end zone here. And he finds him in the end zone for the Indy touchdown. The Colts keep adding to that fourth quarter lead. It's an Adonai Mitchell touchdown. His third through the air this game. That one right down the middle. And the Colts make it a 24-point ball game. Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff. Kent on the return. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own
Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out.
319. Hey, 80. Back no, team right. Get 300. Get 300.
First down. Here's Rodgers. That one's caught along the left sideline. And this is going to be out of bounds. Defense catches up to him near that 45. They get 23 on that one. And the Steelers have a first down. And what a jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
First down throw here by Rodgers. Forced out to his right. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Sauce Gardner with the INT. First and 10 from the 43.
Green 19, go.
There's a handoff for Taylor. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run. Offense up to the line pass.
Brings up second and 11 at the Steelers' 44-yard line.
Fields out of the gun. This is a heater going deep. This is caught inside the 15. Give him 32 on that play. And it'll be first down Colts.
First down. First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Here we go. You good. 19 section. Trips clear. You got it.
From the red zone now. And he finds him in the end zone for the Indy touchdown. The Colts keep running away with this. Extra point attempt coming up. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Colts grow their lead yet again.
Steelers 26. Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off for Indianapolis.
Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff. Kent on the return. And the tackle's made as he gets it out to the 32.
Kent on the return. The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10.
Hey, 88.
Back to work after throwing the pick. This finds Austin complete. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. That's 16 on the pickup. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
First down.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
Oh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
That's just simply one of those situations, Kate, where I think you and I got to tip our cap to the defense. Really took away everybody. There was no outlet, and only an incompletion could be had.
And this is going to be incomplete again. Defender knocks this one away, and it brings up third down.
I know that you and I love, Kate, looking at plays, and discussing them, and all the different outlets and checkdowns, and usually there's a completion to be had, but not against this defense. Not on that one.
Rodgers going to throw here, third down. He put everything he had into this one. What a dive. I think he caught it. They rip up a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
If only every completion could get that kind of result. That's good enough to knock a defense flat on its back.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
So after that big play, Brock, they need just that final yard here on first and goal.
Double up. 58.
Throwing again here, it's Rodgers. Catch is made, but he is out of the back of the end zone. Could not get his feet down, partner. This one's going to end up incomplete. So after the incomplete pass, here comes second and goal.
319. Hey, 88.
Running for it with Johnson. And this is all for cosmetics as he's in for the late touchdown. The Steelers putting up points in a game decided. Boswell gets that point after to go. And the Steelers getting back to a full 3 possessions now, 24 points.
Steelers 33. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Here's Gould on the return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
Anthony Gould on the return. The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Colts file out into formation. Here comes first and 10.
Here we go, son.
Off the play fake, it's Fields. He lofts one deep, center of the field. This is brought in at the 15. This is going to make it down to the 6. That's going to set him up with first and goal.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were, and the QB just nailed it.
Offense in position now. It's first and goal. Play action, Fields. Has it in close. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The Colts continue piling it on here in the fourth. Ooh, baby, Brock, this one has gotten well out of hand.
You think so? I think this is utter domination. Going to be a lot of questions to be answered.
Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Patrick Queen in to pick it off. And this one gets up to the 14-yard line before he stops. Well, they don't get it, but just the choice to go for it there, Brock. As I'm looking to my right, seeing a partner kind of fuming, a little steam coming out of the head. I'm sure you and many others maybe aren't a fan of that call.
I don't feel like I'm that old. I really don't.
You don't look that old.
Well, thank you. But yeah, this still just gets me, and I know many others every single time.
From the 40-yard line now, this is first and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. Puts his body on the line, and he got it. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
And the Steelers first down.
That brings us to the 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. Steelers just want to get out of here with how this one is gone. Let's see how they attack this first down, partner, from the 45.
Blue 58.
Rodgers from the gun. Austin makes the grab downfield. And the stop is made 3 yards from the end zone. It's going to be first and goal.
It's a gain of 42 yards. That's another Steelers.
From the red zone on first. And he's got it, so they'll pull a little ways back with a touchdown. The Steelers making the scoreboard look a touch better. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. Now Rodgers going to get the Steelers set to go for 2. All right, they're going to throw for it. And he can't bring it in. They don't get the 2 points. Okay, Brock, dialing up another 2-point call. And you remember when your friends didn't have a voicemail? It would just ring and ring and ring. It's still ringing. Fall short again of reaching that end zone.
Yeah, this defense is not doing very good between the 20s or even in the red zone, but they do find a way to rise up. This is always my challenge with being super aggressive, is why give that defense something to feel good about coming off the field after you put 6 on the board?
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44.
Here we go. Up, let's go. West right there. Chip's clear. Sit high.
They're going to pass it here. Got a lot behind this one. Downfield it goes. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got second down. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
And oh, he got it. Interception. Jalen Ramsey comes up with it.
Well, they're in danger going back to somebody who's already done damage in this game. He makes himself, well, he's a top target, but he makes himself a priority for this defense to defend, and they jumped on that opportunity.
Here's Rodgers on 1st and 10. Caught into the hands of Freiermuth. And this one breaks beautifully as they're going to get it forward to their own 45. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first. Just one play into this drive, and they are already sitting on their own 45. To the air on 1st down. Rodgers. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Sends this to the end zone. Really pushing the envelope on 2nd down, but the deep shot doesn't work.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. Well, this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he could take the lid off a defense at any time.
58.
3rd and long for him here. Brought in along the sideline, just need an official ruling, and they say catch. Great play. All right, they look set now. Here we go, 1st and 10. Throwing again, Rodgers. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers parlay the interception into points. Pat Freiermuth, the touchdown. Now, this one has been a long game, no doubt. But, hey, something positive to look back on there.
But they didn't quit, Kate, and I know that sounds a little cliche at this professional level, but it really is an important thing. This one will still hurt, but they showed some execution and fire.
And he makes the catch, so hope not entirely extinguished just yet. Still a little glimmer remaining as that makes it a 2-score game here late. So even after the score, they're still down 2 possessions. Time is not exactly on their side as they try this onside kick. Well, even with that kick, wasn't much chance of pulling off the late comeback. And now that they've failed to recover, partner, I think we can take the fork out and you know where to put it.
Yeah, they went out swinging. They did everything that they could do, but it just shows you in the NFL, premium for possessions. And when you stall out early and you dig yourself this kind of hole, awfully hard to come back and win.
11. Medic. Joseph.
Oh, Gronk, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Oh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up. Well, even with the pick on that last drive, partner, he is showing no hesitation whatsoever.
Well, in order to play this game, Kate, at this level, you've got to be aggressive. You can't let a previous mistake really affect your next decision. But I'll say this as well. In the NFL, you throw into coverage too many times, there are going to be more interceptions.
No luck on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Hey, kid, turn ball, son. Right.
Out of the shotgun, Fields. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you've got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Fields on 3rd. Oh, he put everything he had into that throw. Well, they had the look, certainly didn't shy away from it, but couldn't connect. And now they're stuck facing 4th down.
You never, ever, as an offense, like 3 and outs, Kate, but you really don't like them on 3rd down when you throw into tight coverage like that. Got to manufacture a better look.
Fields now on fourth. Going deep here for the end zone. And that's incomplete in the end zone. Could have been 6 points, but as that one falls, Brock, instead just a turnover on downs.
On any fourth down attempt, somebody's going to get a huge momentum boost. It was the offense who laid down the challenge, but it was the defense who delivered. And now it's their teammates going to take over on the field with the very next series.
The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. Chased out to his right. And he's all the way across midfield, down inside that 45-yard line. The Steelers calling their first timeout. Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Timeout Indianapolis. That's its second. And they're still going to have one left at their disposal. Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. First down throw here by Rodgers. Maybe a bit of desperation. Here's a deep shot. And the downfield call is going to go unanswered. Defender saw to that. That incompletion means it's 2nd down.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. The quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football.
And that was probably their last gasp. It's intercepted. Rodney Thomas has got it. And the Colts get it as he makes his 3rd interception in this game.
At their own 43-yard line.
So it's good field position for the Colts as they get set, 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's going to try another deep one here. And that is incomplete. 8 seconds left now. Unable to find Adonai Mitchell with that one. So that brings up 2nd down.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
2nd and 10 now. Fields. He's loaded another one up. Has it down close. He will not score, but that does set him up, Brock, with 1st and goal, less than a yard away from the end zone. This undoubtedly the final snap of what's already a decided contest. Taylor. And he's going to be stopped less than a yard from the end zone. Man, excitement all the way to the end. No time left. 0's on the clock. This game's over. So it's the Colts who come away with a win on the road. And they continue playing their best ball of the season over this recent stretch as they pick up a 6th consecutive victory.